One of the greatest tests of leadership is learning how high you can go up by understanding how far you can go down. Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute tour, day 4 of Vayeshev, and he dwelt. We are still in Bereshit, or Genesis chapter 37. Let's go over to verse 26. And Yehudah said to his brothers, "What would we gain if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh." And his brothers listened. And men, Midianite traders, passed by, so they pulled Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit and sold him to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they took Joseph to Mitzrayim. Now, if we go over to chapter number 39, verse 1 simply says, "And Joseph had been taken down to Mitzrayim." Joseph is indeed destined for great and significant, important leadership. He is to be a savior of sorts to the people of Israel as well as to the peoples of the nations. But not yet. Greatness never comes easy, rarely comes quickly. Sometimes men are thrust into, I say men, I'm thinking of battle scenes predominantly in my mind at the moment, but people are sometimes suddenly thrust into situations where their hidden qualities of leadership are suddenly demanded and they rise to the occasion. But oftentimes, even then, if you will do a little research, you will find that they have been in some means of development for a period of time. So Joseph needs to be taken down. I'm thinking of the classic Western, the cavalry scene where some wet behind the ears military school graduate, young lieutenant, is given charge of a column, and he leads these men out because he has rank but no experience. And the gruff old scout and advisor is trying to help them to make better decisions, but their schooling and their learning prevails. They lead their troops into ambushes or problem situations, and maybe any of them survive. The storyline basically is promoting the understanding that wet behind the ears, green, untested, novice-style leadership is often a problem. You can't just simply show up in a situation and say, "Hi, I'm your leader, follow me." Leadership requires days of refining. So before an individual or a group of individuals, it may be the case, can come together to where they foment a plan that is effective and helpful and life-giving, before they can get to that place, they themselves need to go through the test of fire. I remember when Laura and I were given our first church to pastor. This would have been in the late 1980s, a long time ago. And I knew how to preach, and I had a love for people. I just didn't know how to pastor a church. No one had set me down and say, "This is step 1, 2, and 3, rules A, B, and C." It was a learn as you go experience. Thankfully, I knew some phone numbers of people that I could call and say, "Help, I've got this situation and I need some wisdom here." If anything, I had the wisdom to ask for wisdom. We learned as we went, and we learned some hard lessons. We learned some easy lessons, and we were better for it. And so there is this trial by fire mindset. It's one thing to have dreams and visions, as Joseph does and did at this point, but dreams and visions in and of themselves, even a word of prophecy, Thus says Yah, you're going to rise up and you're going to do great things, yada, yada, yada. People really don't care about any of that if you don't have any experience to speak of. And the problem with experience, you can't get experience without experiencing things. So that means trial and error, that means nights of prayer, that means times of fasting, seeking out mentors, asking questions. A good and wise leader recognizes when he or she does not understand what needs to be done, and they make the phone calls. They reach out to the people who have been there, and they try to learn from those who have wisdom. They're calling upon elders. The Native American culture in America, I have learned, is very keen on recognizing who are elders, who has the experience. And when elders are speaking, you hush and you listen. And it is only after they have finished speaking, then and only then may you begin to ask questions. And if you ask a question, you may not get an immediate answer. It may be a period of time before they come to you and say, you asked this question, here is the answer. Why would they take so long? Because they want to meditate and think upon the answers that they give, knowing that we're going to take them and apply them. The thing about being taken down is you're going to end up with some battle scars. Now, don't discount your battle scars, and don't discount the days of being humbled and broken. I've shared this verse here recently, but again, 1 Peter 5:6, humble yourselves then under the mighty hand of Elohim so that he exalts you in due time. That due time part will be a longer period of time than you might desire or imagine, but it is necessary. You see, when you stand up before a people and you relate your heart and you relate what you're hearing Yah say, and you're encouraging people to walk uprightly and to do what is just and to show mercy and to have compassion, and you describe a better place and a desired goal that you believe that Yah would have for you all to enter into and engage to, it is when they see the scars that they say, here's one who's been battle tested, and they got the scars to prove it. I say battle tested. This is an important difference here. Again, going back to military movies, there are at times scenes where a column of battle hardened veterans are marching out from the front and the new recruits are marching in. Those going out are worn down, they're grubby looking, there's scars and bandages and hardened faces, and those going in are fearful and they're inexperienced and they're wide-eyed and they're looking at those that are coming out and wondering what happened to them. Battle hardened means that you have learned to pull up all your fortress walls and you prevent anything and anyone from getting in out of mere and sheer survival. Battle tested means that you pass the test of the battle. That is, you've embraced the victory that is at hand, and you've learned to share that victory with those that are around you. For Joseph, before he can rescue anyone else, he has to be rescued from himself. He needs to be battle tested. And ultimately, then he stands before Pharaoh, and he begins to reveal the wisdom that Yah has put inside him. He's got the scars of the years behind him without being hardened. He's been tested. May Yah help us all to pass the test, knowing how far we can go down, so we can know how high we can go up. I'll see you again tomorrow. So then, shalom.